Hello, Big Shot Club member. Welcome to your tutorial on how to use the Top Note Bigs die. And the first thing you'll notice is I've written on here 4x5. So whatever the material you're cutting, whether it be felt or chipboard or paper cardstock, whatever it is, that's the minimum size that you'll want to use in your Big Shot. So I'm going to make my sandwich, and I'm going to show you how to make this little recipe book. We start with the cutting plate, and then we have the die with the foam up. I'm going to put this chipboard. Now this is very lightweight chipboard. It came as something to help keep papers sturdy or something. I'm not exactly sure what Stampin' Supply it came with, but I do know it did come from Stampin' Up! As packaging. And if you want something that's a little bit sturdier than this isn't very sturdy, you can certainly buy the longboard chipboard. It's very thick, it's very sturdy, makes a wonderful mini album, and best thing yet, I had to cut this thing down, but the longboard is specifically made narrow enough to fit through the Big Shot without having to cut it down. So it's a great thing to use with your Big Shot. So I'm going to put the top cutting pad on, and you might notice that it's a little scarred up, and that's okay. It works just great. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. And I'm just going to wheel it through. Very simple. And there we go. Pops out one cover. Now I need a front and a back cover, so I need a second cover here. So I'm going to put that on again. I'm going to slide it through one more time. Here we go. Goes very easily. And there we go. There's our second cover. Okay, now this is not really very attractive, so I'm going to cover it, and I've decided I want to have this be the outside of my album, and this is going to be the inside pages of my album. Or I should show you, for instance, on this one, I have one pattern on the outside, I have another pattern on the inside cover. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm going to take the pieces that I want showing, and I'm going to face them down onto my top note. And I can cut all four at once without a problem. And again, bottom cutting plate, top note die, paper, top cutting plate, and I'm going to just push it through again. Very quick and easy. Take away those things, which I'm really careful for. I could actually make some nice little frames to go around pictures. I wasn't really careful on this one, so that this edge is a little bit wider, but you could make that a frame with a little bit of care. Okay, so I have these pieces, and I've also taken the liberty, and I've gone ahead and done it for you. I've cut out 8 more. I just took 2 sheets of Whisper White cardstock, quartered them, and cut out 8 more using my Top Note Bigs die. So now I'm done with my Big Shot. I'm going to take one of my covers, and I'm going to take, I want this side out, so I'm going to take my Anywhere glue stick, and this glue stick, if I can get the cover off, is great. It's nice and square, so it'll reach into the corners, and it goes on very smooth. It's really good stuff, and it's very sticky. It's a really high quality glue stick, and the best part is it's not very expensive. And I'm going to put this piece over now, because everything was cut with the same die. It all fits together perfectly. Very easy to align. So there's the front. And then I can go ahead and do the back with the other piece. And I'm going to do another one. Now you may have noticed that I've got a hole punched. All I did was take my Crop-A-Dile and decide, oh, I want a hole right here. So then I took my white pieces and I lined some of them up underneath, like so. Punched again with my Crop-A-Dile so that they line up perfectly. did it with the remaining white pieces. And when I was done, I had that. And this is my back. So I wanted to take my white piece, and you got to remember that your back piece, so you have to have the inside up when you do your back piece, so that everything lines up perfectly. And if you mess that up, of course, you just have to punch holes on the opposite side. But there you have your completed little book. I'm going to take a little book ring. Okay, open it up, slide it through the hole. And it needs a little bit of embellishment, so I'm going to take some ribbons. Now, the designer series paper that I used was the Delicate Dots paper from Celebration. And this green happens to be the Certainly Celery twill. That was also a Celebration choice. Celebration 09. And here's a piece of Bashful Blue. So I've got those ribbons tied on there, and I could give them a trim if I wanted to. They're not looking too bad. And as you can see, what I've done on this one is I've made a title. And I did that title using the Billboard dies. It's exclusive to Stampin' Up! It's an alphabet. And I just cut out little pieces of cardstock and scented it over the letters that I needed. And of course, to do that, you also need the extended platform. You need the extended cutting pads to go with this. But that's if you want to use those alphabets. But it sure beats my handwriting. And isn't that a cute little project? You could make this an autograph book, scrapbook, so many possibilities, and it did not take long at all. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. See you next time.